Here's more wrestling news for August 30th, 2022, and we're starting off with WWE, as over the past month, several names have been brought back to WWE. KARRION, Scarlett, Dakota Kai, Hit Row, Dexter Lumis, and Johnny Gargano have all returned so far, and we may now know who's next. According to a new report from Fightful, Braun Strowman is a name being thrown around backstage regarding a possible return, but it's unclear at this time if negotiations have started with the man himself. A former Universal Champion, Strowman's release last year was a shock to fans, as he had been prominently booked for years, with his final WWE match being a World Championship opportunity at a premium live event. It'd certainly be interesting to see how Strowman would fit into this new era of WWE and who he'd return to face. Since being released, Strowman has worked with CYN, the counterculture promotion that claims that they will reshape wrestling, but for the right price, the monster among men may soon be back working for WWE. Strowman is certainly a big name that could be returning to TV, but he's not the only return said to be in the works. Not too long ago, it was reported that WWE were considering trying to make a play to bring back Bronson Reed, who was released last year from his contract in NXT. In an update from Fightful, it's confirmed that WWE is trying to bring back Reed, who was cut because Vince McMahon did not see him as a fit in the new era of NXT 2.0. After being released, Reed said how he had been promised by Triple H that his position with the company was safe and that there were big plans in his future, and while that didn't transpire during his first run with WWE, it may be time that the game makes good on that promise. It's been just under a month since KARRION made his impactful return to WWE, attacking Drew McIntyre and having a stare-down with Roman Reigns. For this Friday's SmackDown, it's being advertised that KROSS will have his debut match, which may come as a surprise to fans with a good memory. It was only last year that KROSS was competing on Raw, infamously losing his first match on the main roster, but according to Dave Meltzer, that never happened. Meltzer explained that WWE are going to act as if KROSS's first run on the main roster never transpired, which is why his match this Friday is being treated as his debut to the main roster. WWE is no stranger to rewriting their own history, and as far as the company is concerned, the days of his ridiculous attire and bizarre helmet never took place. KROSS's first run on the main roster may have never happened, according to WWE at least, but the former NXT champion is certainly in a good position on the card right now. Many expect KROSS to challenge for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship one day, but he's also working on another big match. On Twitter, KROSS retweeted a fan who proposed a match between the SmackDown superstar and Bray Wyatt, adding that it must happen one day. KROSS even responded to the tweet by asking his wife Scarlett Bordeaux if she knows any spells that could aid him in a match against The Fiend. Despite being released last July, the chances of Wyatt returning have never been better, as the former Universal Champion has teased returning to wrestling in this new post-Vince McMahon era. KROSS vs. Wyatt would certainly be a high-profile feud, and if the current SmackDown superstar gets his way, it'll just be a matter of time before he and The Fiend square off. In June 2007, the wrestling world was rocked when news broke that Chris Benoit, his wife Nancy, and son Daniel had been found dead in their homes. It wouldn't be until a day later, after a somber tribute show, that the truth came out about Benoit's heinous actions during the last few days of his life. Everyone in the wrestling world was affected in some way by the tragedy, but those who knew him best were particularly hit hard. Speaking on the Cheap Heat Productions podcast, ex-superstar Rory McAllister recalled that fateful June and how Randy Orton couldn't handle it. Randy goes for coffee and he comes walking back, and every screen in the center of the hub of the airport, murder-suicide, murder-suicide. Dude, Randy just lost his shit. He literally just lost his shit and fucking ran out of the airport. Orton's first title win in WWE came by beating Benoit, a match and moment WWE can no longer air as, all these years later, Chris Benoit's actions continued to haunt the wrestling world. Now, Will Osprey is one of the best wrestlers in the world today, but this week, he tussled on social media with an unlikely opponent. After a fan pointed out that Osprey has 4 Dave Meltzer-rated 5-star matches, more than CM Punk, John Cena, and Kurt Angle combined, Kevin Nash decided to retort asking, "How's his merchandise sales?" Nash clearly believes highly celebrated matches mean little if they're not making you money, and Osprey fired back a few hours later, asking if Nash tore his quads writing his tweet. This age-old joke has followed Big Daddy Cool for the past 20 years, after he tore his quadriceps walking to the ring on the July 8, 2002 Raw, which should have marked Nash's in-ring return from a different injury. Nash may never have had the 5-star classic that Osprey had, but his wrestling style made the 2-time Hall of Famer an exceptionally wealthy man, even if it has cost him a quadricep or two. Gaming news now is earlier this week it was reported that FTR had been pulled from the AEW Fight Forever video game in a surprising move by the company. After all, FTR, former AEW World Tag Team Champions, have been immensely popular since joining the company in 2020, so to see them pulled came as a shock to fans. In an update, Sports Gamers Online's managing editor Mike Straw revealed some information about the situation, saying that one reason for the removal is because of their moveset. Straw explained that a reason he was told is that some moveset captures and animations throughout AEW's roster has caused issues, which is why FTR have been pulled. From what he said, it sounds like others on the roster could be pulled from the game as well, but so far, the only two that we know for certain is Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. While it's been reported that AEW is looking for a release this year, no date has been announced yet, and we'll just have to wait until AEW Fight Forever launches to see who made the cut. If you were watching WWE from 2006 to 2010, you'll know of Mike Knox, who would later spend a few more years in Impact Wrestling. Despite working on Raw, SmackDown, and ECW, Knox never won gold in WWE, but that doesn't seem to bother the former superstar. Speaking on the Patricast, Knox revealed that he was offered a chance to return to WWE in 2015 and explained why he said no. "I hadn't worked and my knees were freaking really bothering me. I still want to live an awesome life, you know what I mean? I don't want to be, have a head full of mush and 2 broke legs." Knox didn't return to WWE, but he did return to wrestling, most recently losing to fellow Aces and Eights alum Bully Ray at NWA 74. In the 7 years since his almost return, Knox hasn't hinted at a comeback, but with WWE bringing back ex-talent, we can't count anything out in this new era of the company. And we're ending today with AEW, as recent reports have stated that there's a lot of tension within the company. Between CM Punk going off script and Thunder Rosa having real-life beef with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, a lot has been happening, but not according to One Star. Speaking on Headlock, Christopher Daniels played down the reports, saying that everything's going fine in AEW. That could be true, but Tony Khan still felt the need to hold a talent-wide meeting before last week's Dynamite to address reports of issues backstage. With WWE content improving, the last thing AEW needs is to lose ground now, but according to the Fallen Angel, there's nothing for AEW's loyal fans to worry about. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.